Hello, party people. Happy Monday. Welcome to February. Guys, it's Black History Month. So, as per usual, in the beginning of every February, I'm going to remind you to go learn a story about somebody you don't know so you can learn a little bit more about what it's like to be Black in this country. Because if you're not Black in this country, you don't know and we'll never fully know. But you know what? It's our job to learn a little bit more about people who aren't exactly like us. Yes or no? Like, are you kidding me with this? Let's go. All right, people, as we usually do, before we get into this idea that you should never undercharge, first of all, I'm so sorry about the appearance of my background. I spent $9 million on my beautiful camera and awesome streaming hardware. It's not working today. Isn't that nice? Angel cards, let's go. As you guys join in, I'm going to be reading an angel card. If you are watching this on a replay, go ahead and take a second while I shuffle. I know. Come on in, people. All right. Oh, well, that's funny. Guess what card I pulled, you guys? Can you read that? It's probably backwards, right? Entrepreneur card. Self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your coworkers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure success in all ways. What's up, Karen? Guys, I got this from Karen. So how cool is it that she's here? I can't believe I pulled the entrepreneur card, but yet, of course I did, because we're talking about how to not underprice yourself, my beautiful people. So here's the deal. Sorry, I dropped my card. I know I'm very elegant today. Don't be alarmed. Beautiful people, here's the deal. So about flip. What month is it? We're February, right? It was in December. So 3 months ago, I gave a talk in a mastermind I'm currently a participant in. It's a really great mastermind, specifically for people who are coaches. And we get this opportunity inside the mastermind to give talks, right? It's like kind of like, hey, let's share with each other what we do, what we can count on each other for, and what our expertise are. And I gave my talk about money. I know I pulled it again, Karen. It's true. I gave my talk about money. And I talked about how money is a love-like energy, right? And that we should not be afraid to sell, because selling is an opportunity to help people. And I mean that genuinely. You guys have been with me for long enough to know I'm not like, yeah, go separate people from their money and all that kind of crap that we hear out there. That's so disgusting. So I give this talk. It's only 20 minutes. I've never received a response like this. And I don't know if it's because it was other coaches, right? And they were like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. But I've never had a response like that. And you guys, I'll be honest. Oh boy, I got to tell the truth on myself here for a sec. I keep this part of me a little bit hidden, or I have up until this point. Let me be honest. And this is the part of me that truly believes gosh, I'm trying not to cry. I'm so sorry. It must be the shirt. Hey, Alex. It's a part of me that truly believes you're not here because the universe or evolution or God or whatever, it was bored. It's the part of me that truly believes the world has what you need or you wouldn't be here right now. I mean, good God, can we just look outside at what's going on? I mean, the world is an effing nightmare right now. My poor monthly students this I was like, we need to talk about the collective unconscious because there's some crap going on. I don't want that going in your brain. And they were like, oh my God, such like in-depth, serious work that we did on not allowing the negativity and the sarcasm and the nastiness that is out there and the resignation and the lack of hope that is out there right now. I don't want that seeping into your brains accidentally. So we spent a full hour dissecting that and understanding that. And that's how seriously I take this idea that you are here now for a reason. And like I said, this is the part of me I have kept a little hidden because it sounds a little woo-woo. And I was raised Mormon, and I don't want people to be like, oh my God, is she being Mormon again? We don't know what she's talking about. But it's like this idea. I truly believe that you're here for a reason. And if you do not know how to communicate that reason, oh, I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little harsh, and it's something I don't normally say. But if you do not learn how to communicate what you do out there into the world, you are failing your gifts and your talents. I know that's hard for me to say to you because I don't like the word fail, But I want you to understand you are failing the gifts you've been given. You're not failing at them. You're actually failing the gifts. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys, this isn't an accident, right? It's not an accident that you're here. It's not an accident that you ran into this video. Whether you end up watching it live or you watch it on replay, it's not an accident. It's because there's something that you need to be doing that you're probably not doing right now. And when we look out there in the world and we see that what's happening out there isn't working, it's time now for everybody who's found something that does work to stand up and share it. You have to learn how to stand up and share what you do because we need you. And I said that all through the pandemic, but I mean it now on a different level because we're watching what's happening when the people who have figured out what works, the people who are the best at what they do, the people who have figured out how to solve some of life's biggest problems, right? Sorry, it looks like I'm disconnected for a sec. I hope you guys are still able to hear me. But now's the time for you to learn how to share what you do. And we happen to call learning how to share what you do sales. That's it. That's all it is, you guys. You have to understand that you need to make a living and that what you offer as in the form of help can help make your living, right? Those are the same thing. So I'm going to invite you. Someone's trying to text me. Yeah. So I want to invite you to learn how to sell. Now, after I gave that talk, a whole bunch of people came running up to me and they were like, please tell me you're teaching sales. Please tell me you're teaching sales. And you guys know my favorite line, when 3 people tell you you're drunk, lie down. So I have a brand new group coaching program that is coming out later this week, next week. Keep your eyes open, ears to the ground. It's coming. And I will be talking about that more and more over the next week or so. But I do want to let you guys know that. And I want you to understand why it's so important. Because right behind you understanding how to share what you do is how many women are losing opportunities because they're not charging enough. I was just listening to a podcast that a friend recommended. I love it when people do that for me. It makes me so happy. But it was about Mel Robbins sharing her experience as a speaker and how accidental it was, right? Like she figured out her 5-second rule and she started talking about it and nobody had heard about TEDx, but she was on a TEDx and she's like, I didn't even know what that was, right? And then they started sharing it and then other people started sharing it. And she was at a conference, at a women's conference, and one of the other speakers came up to her and said, oh my God, did you get your check yet? And she's like, for what? She didn't even know she could get paid to do this. And meanwhile, she's still like almost $1 million in debt. Did not know she could get paid to share wisdom. You can get paid to share wisdom. If you're hearing my voice, please let that go in. You can get paid to share wisdom because we need you. That's the gift you were given, and you were given it so you could make a living doing it. I truly believe that. Okay, so now she realizes she can get paid. So she gets a speaking agent. And he keeps telling her to raise her prices for her speaking engagements. She's like, no, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be greedy, right? No. She's at a CEO conference where she said there were 2, I don't know who these are, she didn't say, but there were 2 other men speaking. She said really big names, New York Times bestsellers, all that jazz, right? And she was so excited to watch them speak. And then she was the closer. And she killed it, right? Like she was so excited and happy. And people were talking about what a difference it made and how much it meant to them. And the head of HR came over to her and said, I have to tell you something. I need you to come here. And she said, you came so highly recommended that we were really excited to have you here. But I got to be honest, we almost didn't hire you because your prices were so low. We thought she can't possibly be the real deal. And she said, I just want you to know, we paid that guy triple what we paid you, and we paid that guy 4 times what we paid you. And she almost didn't get the gig. You guys, we got to stop this nonsense. You got to stop. You got to stop acting like you can't make a living given the gifts, the God-given gifts you have, if that's your belief system. If it's that evolution has designed us all in such a way that we're a jigsaw puzzle, so we all fit and we're here to support each other, you're not doing your job. You're not pulling your weight, which is a really hard thing for me to say to you, because a lot of times I'm like, just live, just enjoy your life. Like, do that. Yes, do that too. But if you're not using the talents that you were given to support the world, given what's going on, you're not pulling your weight. And if you are putting your ego of, oh my God, I don't want to be salesy. Oh my God, I don't want to appear greedy. That is your ego in front of the work you could be doing to help other people. That is you saying that your ego is more important than the difference you could make for other people. And I hope that sinks in. I mean it with love. I don't mean it to be mean. I don't want to be like grumpy at you, but you've got to understand you are playing so small. The only person you are serving is your ego. And if that helps you understand what's at stake because you're hiding, I have to do this too. I'm now not hiding behind my beliefs anymore of like, oh, I just do what you're here to do. You be happy. No, now it's like, no, you're not pulling your weight. We need you. I hope you can hear me over my slapping hands. We need you. So get over yourself. I even pulled out my New Jersey accent for that. Get over yourself and start charging what you're worth. Your ego and your concern about how other people view your pricing is about you. And chances are, if you're doing what you love, if you're actually honoring your expertise and your experience and your talents, that's not about your ego, right? That's about what you're here to do to help other people. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, I hope that goes in. All right, I think I'm having connectivity issues. I hope you guys can hear me. It's always fun when I'm like, am I talking to myself? I can see some people on, but it's a little spotty. So if you guys want to say something or ask questions, please do that. You know how I am. I love it when you guys jump in. So here's the deal. When we look at, I'm going to give you guys a quick exercise because, you know, that's what I do on Coffee with Coaches. I give you guys real life coaching. Okay, this isn't like for pretend. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of something you've been wanting to sell. Okay. So I don't care if it's a program. I don't care if like you want to start doing one-on-ones. I don't care if you are selling a service that you actually physically do. Like let's say you paint people's old furniture, or you're really great at massages, or you take great photographs, or you have amazing flooring available for them. Or I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, if you have teachings, like actual classes people can take that will progress their career or their personal life, whatever it is. I want you to pick one thing that you've been thinking of offering the world, and want you to think about the pricing on that. Okay. Now I want you to think about right now, I want you to write down either if you've already sold it, what you've actually been charging. Okay. So if you have a price out there, what you've actually been charging. Now I want you to double it. I know, you're welcome. I want you to double that price and just sit with it for a sec. I want you to actually, don't just think double. I want you to take, you know, these magical things. They're called pens. Yeah, they still work. So I want you to grab a pen. I want you to grab paper, and I want you to write that price down. So like actually sit down and write it. Go ahead. Go on with your bad self. Write it down. Write it down. Okay. Did we write it down? I'm going to give you 2 more seconds. Done. Okay, so write it down. Now I want you to actually look at it, okay? Just look at it. Now, if you're someone who's watching and you don't own your own business, that was weird. It's like I just got a cold in 2 seconds. If you're watching and you don't own your own business, I want you to think about debt that you're trying to get rid of. I want you to think about a raise you've been trying to get, or I want you to think about a financial goal you have. And I want you to do the same thing. Okay, so if you have debt that you're trying to get rid of, I want you to act as if the debt has been cut in half, and I want you to look at that number, and then I want you to cut it in half again. Okay, do you see where we're going? So if you, I'm going to make up numbers. Let's say you have $10,000 of debt. I want you to imagine it's 5, and I want you to write down how that makes you feel. Then I want you to cut it in half again. I want you to write down how that makes you feel. Okay. Then for those of you who are selling, okay, you're not dealing with personal finances. You're dealing with your business finances. All right. Those of you here with business finance, I want you to look at that number that you doubled, and I want you to just look at it. Just hold still for a sec. Look down at it, and I want you to watch. Did you pull back or did you lean in? It's okay. You don't have to tell me. I know everybody's so shy. Did you lean back or did you lean in? And just take a sec. Just watch yourself. Now, if you were someone who leaned in, what I want you to get, okay, when you lean in, is that's your number. That is the number you need to start selling that product at. For those of you that that leaned back, okay? Because now we're talking to entrepreneurs. Those of you who lean back, I want you to ask yourself why. Did you lean back because it's actually not the right price, no emotion? Or did you lean back because it scares you? You got to think about it for a second, because sometimes it takes a second to sort of pull that apart. You want to look at it and say, did I lean back because I'm personally scared? So you're putting your ego, right? I'm personally scared about what people might think. I'm personally scared that that's just too much, versus that price actually doesn't match what I'm offering. Okay, because now you got to look at what you're actually offering. What is the value to people? Because remember, money goes where the perceived value is highest. I'm going to say that again. Money goes to where the perceived value is highest. So if you do not value what you are offering people, your perception of that, that's probably where you have to work, right, is going to be lower. Or it could be, right? So somebody who helps, I always love giving this example. So I have a woman that I send all of my kids' dance costumes and soccer uniforms to. I just send them to her. She's amazing. She makes gorgeous quilts out of them. That's like what she does. So I send them away and they come back as a quilt. I'm like, this is amazing. So that solves a problem for me, right? There's a value there for me. And that value is I get to preserve their memories, right? There's no junk sitting up on a shelf that none of us ever see, but we don't want to throw away because it sort of matters, but we never look at them, right? And I don't have to spend the time to create that myself. So that's the value to me, right? The memories are saved. There's more space in the closet, which matters to me, and my time is protected. So I'm going to pay for that. I'm probably not going to pay $10 million for it, right? But I'll pay several $100s for it. That's worth it to me. That's the perceived value for me, right? That would be very different from, say, one of my favorite clients I talk about all the time is Tasha Blasi, who helps women go through the IVF process faster and with less pain. And she saves them tens of thousands of dollars and gives them a baby. Perceived value, very, very high, right? Not even perceived. It's pretty much objective value at that point, right? But you can see that is going to be a lot more money than the awesome quilts. Not because one's better, but because the value, right? The addition to life is different. Literal addition to life is different. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at your pricing and you're going, okay, I don't think that value is right. What you're looking at is how much does it affect the lives of those who enjoy it, the lives of those who consume your products, ideas, services, teachings, etc. How much value does it give them? And you've got to get crystal clear on that, because chances are, like most women, Mel Robbins included, you're undervaluing what it is you're providing. The head of HR told her that day, her talk blew the other two talks away, blew them away. Not even close. And she got paid a quarter of the price. I almost consider this, you guys are going to think I'm crazy because I always say money isn't moral, but I kind of consider this a moral issue for us. Because it's not okay to walk around pretending like what you do doesn't matter. That to me is a moral issue. Now, I'm hard at work over here teaching you guys how to do this, but I'm also hard at work over here making sure more women understand that we've been taught to do this. And that to me is a moral issue. It's not okay to underpay women, and we as the women have to make sure we're not participating in that. What comes out of my mouth because I happen to be in a female body doesn't make it any less valuable than what comes out of a mouth that's attached to a male body. That's bullshit. That's baloney. That's a moral issue for me. And it's also a moral issue because you are undervaluing your gifts. That's not okay. It's just not okay. So when you look at the number you wrote down for what you offer, the number you wrote down for the raise you want to ask for, the number that you wrote down for your next big pitch, the number you wrote down for your own speaking engagements, you need to look at that and actually ask yourself, what is the value of the people who consume this product? because that's what you're offering, right? Is a product that can change someone's life, like Tylenol, or I don't know, chocolate chips, like pick a thing, right? Those products can actually change your life, right? Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to own it. Don't be afraid to say, yeah, this is expensive. And here's why. It's going to end up saving you a lot of money, or it's going to end up saving you a lot of pain. It's going to save you a lot of time, and it might even cause some joy. It might even cause an increase in productivity. It might make you, I don't know, you can enjoy sex more. It might mean that you enjoy your food more. It might mean that you are more peaceful. Those things matter. They matter because we only have one life here, you guys. And so if you have figured something out and you're acting like that doesn't matter and you don't really want to help people, you just want to give it away for free, that actually doesn't help people. There are very few times in history where giving something away for free helped. Smallpox vaccine. That helped. That really helped, right? Like, oh, guy who invented it said, take it and run. And boy, did everybody, oh my God, amazing result, right? That was the one time where I'm like, okay, maybe. All right. Also, life-saving technology probably could be free, right? We just had a life-changing diagnosis in our family 2 weeks ago. And I will tell you, free medicine would be amazing. Got it. Okay. There are some things out there when it comes to the health of other people, probably. But here's the thing. For what most of us are doing in our businesses, right? Like when we look out there, about most of us are doing, it's about incrementally making someone's life better. It's about helping people understand something they're having a hard time understanding. It's about solving a problem that's solvable by altering the way they think or by doing something differently, right? Or looking things a different way so that they change their behavior. That's what I do, right? That is extraordinarily useful in life. And you need to start charging for it. So here's what happened to Tasha, back to her, right? When she and I started working together, she already knew she had this gift. She already knew she could help people get pregnant faster through the IVF process. Women were calling her all over the country just to pick her brain, right? Here's the thing, they didn't listen to what she said because it was a free conversation. They were like, okay, that lady was super nice. And then they didn't listen. And then they had to go through however many rounds they had to go to instead of one or two. But as soon as she started charging for it, I believe, Tasha, if you are ever watching this and I have this wrong, please let me know. But I believe she's got a 100% success rate. That's a really good success rate. But do you know why she has a 100% success rate? Because people listen when she talks. They have paid her for her expertise and they listen. Do you see the difference? Right? You got that? There's a big difference there. And I need you to understand that for you. But I will tell you, I don't just need you to do this. You need you to do this. The world at large needs you to do this too. And here's the other reason this is so important to me, that you don't undercharge, right? And if you're listening and you don't have your own business, again, I want you to think about clearing out your debt as quickly as possible, because that's just making other people wealthy. Let's like for nothing. Okay. So let's at least make you rich for doing something. How about that? Would that be nice? And by rich, I'm not talking about, you guys know how I feel about this. It's not about the material stuff you can buy. It's just not. That's not, it's nice. Sure. You really love like gourmet organic food. That's wonderful. You love to spend $600 getting your hair dyed. Good on you. Right? I know a lot of people are working on the face right at the moment, right? The Botox and all this stuff. That makes you happy. Fantastic. Good for you. Awesome. Make enough so that you can do that and take care of your family and do what you want to do and have the experiences you want to do, the experiences you want to have. All right. So when we talk about being rich, it's about not worrying. Okay. It's about being able to absorb a life-altering diagnosis, that's another story for another time. But I mean, it's about being able to do that and go, okay, that's expensive. Thank God we've got it. Thank God. And now advocating for others who don't. I can't do that without money either. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm actually, you guys, stay tuned. You're who to hear first. I'm going to be one of those moms who walks up on the stage with 85,000 prescriptions and says, "Are you kidding me?" It's coming. But I can't do that if I don't own my own business and I don't have money in the bank to take care of the days I need to take off to advocate for that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by you making money. We are here to make a difference on the planet. And you can't do that if you are sitting at your desk freaking out about your electric bill. Like, you cannot get out there. You can't do that if you feel like crap because you're wearing pants that are falling apart because you can't afford to go get new ones. You can't play at the level you're here to play if you're hiding behind, "I don't want to be salesy." If you're hiding behind, "I don't want people to think I'm greedy." Who the hell said you were greedy? That's a lie that got fed to you so that you would stay in your place and be quiet. And I mean that. I know. Someone's going to make a reel out of that, but there you are. I do mean it. Now, the other reason I want more women making more money, you guys have heard me say this before. There is a funny video of here somewhere on my YouTube channel, somewhere, of me on stage pre-COVID talking about how the military, right? The people, let me say it this way. The human beings in charge, most of which happen to have bodies with penises. I said it here first. Yes. So the human beings in charge, most of whom identify as men, have decided that most of our money, instead of going to medicine, instead of going to clean water, instead of going to other things that could actually buoy up society, that we should be using that money to make sure we can kill other people's children at the drop of a hat. Now, is there national security? Sure. There's things like that. Absolutely. The amount that we are spending is bananas. Now, I don't want to turn this into a political discussion, but what I want to do is, again, my job is to sort of shift your perspective a little bit. Do you think that would be the same if we had 80% women and 20% men in those bodies, in those governing bodies? Probably not, right? Because as women, we're probably not going to drop bombs on other people's children. We might drop medicine and food and water. There's a stat. I need to find out where I can back this up. And I'm sorry, a financial planner told me this once, and I have not been able to back it up. So I'm sorry. As soon as I find that, I will put it here. I'm going to run with it because from my experience, it does seem to hold out. And I did hear from a financial planner whom I trust and like, and happened to be a man, by the way. So the stat he shared with me was that if you give $10 to a man, 1 or 2 of those dollars will go back into the community. If you give $10 to a woman, $7 or $8 will go back into the community. That's a big deal. Because what that does is that fuels other businesses, right? It fuels great food. It fuels great schools. It fuels towns and communities that end up communicating. And at a time when we're not communicating and we're not actually seeing eye to eye, that's incredibly important. So if you think me telling you not to undercharge is just about lining your pockets, it's a little bit about that. Go make yourself happy for sure. But it's so much bigger than you. It is so much bigger than your ego. It is so much bigger than your fear of being salesy. We just don't have time for that anymore. We just don't. You need to put that aside and stop putting your worries in front of your gifts. All right? Okay. So with that, that gentle, lighthearted note, again, I am still getting a message that my connection is unstable. So I don't even know if you guys saw this live. I'm so sorry if you did not. I hope you did. If you guys want to send me messages or post down below, we will come back and check because it seems the connectivity was a little rude. And I will make sure to come back and answer any coaching questions you have or any specific fears you have about being salesy or any fears you have that you're going to appear greedy or selfish or somehow evil, right? It's just not true. You deserve to make as much money as anyone else doing what you do. And you guys, I know piano teachers who are making 6 figures. There are artists who are making 7 figures. There are people who teach people how to sew, how to paint, how to read, how to clean. Oh my God, it's endless. It's endless. And they're making fantastic livings because they have learned this skill. All right. So I want you to keep an eye out for the program that I have coming up. It's launching March 1st, and I'm going to start talking about it next week. I want you to participate with me. I want you to ask yourself what would be possible for you? What would be possible for the world? What would be possible for everybody who works with you if you got over these fears? Oh, good. Thanks, Alex. I'm glad you guys got to see. I so appreciate that. And I know there's some of you watching who don't have YouTube sign-ins yet. Just get them. Just go get a YouTube sign. Just sign in so you can talk to me. I know I moved y'all from Facebook to YouTube. That was intentional, but come with me. Have fun. It's all right. It's good. All right, you guys, I love you to bits. Have a wonderful February. I meant what I said about Black History Month. Please take a minute to understand more about what it's like for our brothers and sisters who happen to have Black skin in this country, so that we can always expand, become more inclusive, and grow our own ability for empathy. All right. I love you guys. I will see you next month. Bye.